It's time to start Dishin Days with your hosts, Tony Moore, Michael Mattis, Justin Lee Hareld, and Araceli Aviles. And now, let's dish. Why, hello everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Dishin Days, where we are serving up a full dish of this week's episodes of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. If you guys haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. Also, if you are watching us live and in living color, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell notification. That way you'll never miss when we're going live or when we post videos. If you guys haven't, just navigate it through our YouTube channel. We have all of our past episodes of Dishin Days on there, plus many interviews from Day of Days, the Daytime Emmys, and any other events. So make sure you just go check it out. Sit at home on this lovely Sunday after this show and just look around and see if you find something. And if you do, comment so that way we know you found it. And if you don't want to sit around and watch us on a YouTube channel and you need to take us on a road trip or walking children in nature, or maybe you just want to sit at the beach and watch the waves crash into the sand, you can do that by finding us on your favorite podcast stations. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And make sure you go over and show some love to our former co-host and my chocolate twin, James Lott Jr., who has developed JLJ Media. That's right, y'all. He is all digital now, and he's serving up a few dishes of his own, including recaps on General Hospital, Bold and the Beautiful, and The Young and the Restless, including some original audio dramas, because James Lott Jr. is the only person that I know who's old enough to remember when writing letters became a thing.
As someone rushes to tell him.
Right. He didn't have to use his carrier pigeon anymore. Well, James Lott Jr. used to use carrier pigeon, so there's that. And make sure you tell us your thoughts. Make sure you comment below, or we always want to hear from you. We'll see them. Sometimes we may comment on them, but we'll see. Thanks everyone for your thoughts. Thanks everyone for being here. Sorry we started a little bit late today. We had some technical difficulties, but we are here, ready to dish some days.
You can see.
This heat has
Yes.
has gotten people's internets together. So speaking of getting things together,
I will look funky.
And that's different. How?
I will look weird for the duration of this show, but hopefully a lot of people download and I will sound no different.
Okay. Well, what did we think about this week's episodes of Days?
It was okay.
Yeah.
There was a lot that went on. Yeah, I don't want to say it was like an info week, but it was okay. I liked it. It just wasn't, nothing too crazy, but we got a lot of story, or a lot of different stories, I should say.
Yeah. Araceli?
Yeah, I agree. It was okay. Yeah, it was just okay. I feel like it's one of those weeks where stuff happened and it wasn't necessarily boring. It was nice, but we could feel that we're in between things right now.
Yeah. Again, just kind of laying the groundwork for some things to come about. So we shall see. Well, y'all, let's talk all about it, shall we? Our favorite part of the show is seeing if we can get this right together. I think we're gonna do it. It is now time to start
Dishin Days.
Dishin Days.
Dishin Days.
Lord have mercy. Woo. Honey, that iPad is putting you through it, honey. She is putting you through it. Well, speaking of putting us through it, let's go ahead and get through this show so that and we're just going to pray that the internet stays your friend. So we're going to kick things off with our first storyline, which is Abigail. Is that you? What do y'all think?
I'm sticking
I
with
feel like
what I said.
this is. What did you say last week?
Yeah, well, this whole time, I don't think she's Abigail. I think the story is going to be is she Abigail or not, but I don't think she's Abigail. I don't know who she is yet, but I don't think they're bringing Abigail back.
I really have no idea what's going on, and I preface that by saying that I think that I don't know that the fans would accept a different Abigail. Not that it's not. I mean, we've talked about recasts in the past and this and that, but I think that there's a tone and a tenor for the recasts that the audience will accept. And if Annalyn McCord has been tapped to play the new Abigail, I just don't know how this is going to play out.
Well,
I'm really hoping it's a redirect. Yeah, so like I hope that this is a misdirect. I hope. Because I just don't know how this would play out.
Well, first of all, I was looking forward to Wednesday's episode because there was so much hype about Annalyn coming onto the show. At the end of Wednesday's episode, I said, did I miss her? Like, did I not see her? So all we were supposed to see was
yes, that old 80s CTV footage. You didn't like that, Tony? You didn't think you got a clear shot of her with the footage from the 80s of her?
And here's it. And again, here's my thoughts, right? Is that I think before I say this, I want to say I love Days. And I love everyone.
We all love Days.
And I appreciate what they do. However, I think the coming back from the dead card has been overplayed. Because number one, we had Kayla, Marlena, and Kate go through that. That put us through it. When Will was killed by the necktie killer, we went through that, and then he was brought back. We also and when Abigail was one of those murders that when it happened, we were all devastated about it. Right? It was the same feeling that we got when Will was killed by the necktie killer. When we thought, Kayla, Marlena, and Kate were dead, and we were like, what is happening? I'll even go back to the Salem Stalker when they were killing everyone, and we were like, what is happening, right?
Yeah.
Bo, the killing of Bo, and then it's like all of a sudden people are brought back. Granted, they're brought back. Nick, wasn't Nick another one? We thought Nick was dead, and then
Yeah, kind of.
and then Ben said he wasn't, and then he showed up at the wedding.
Huh?
Now we didn't feel that bad about Nick when he got tossed in the river. We didn't really care about that. We were like,
Well,
girl power. But
Oh,
before
that's
you
right, yeah.
chime in, but all I'm
Yeah.
saying is the coming back from the dead card has been a little overplayed. So I'm excited about Anna Lynn
Mhm.
if it goes in that direction of she is Abigail and Abigail is back. This better be some Emmy award winning twists, turns, roller coaster in order for me to go, now that is how you do that.
So wait, you
Yes.
do think? Okay, you just gave an Araceli answer. I'm like, what?
Right now I'm not for it because the card has been played so many times.
So you don't think she's Abigail? You're saying?
I didn't say whether I'm just assuming that she is.
Okay.
And
Okay.
if she is, then that card has been overplayed, and this better be a stellar storyline for me to go, okay, I like how they did that.
Oh my God, Justin's right. Tony, you're starting to sound like me.
I will not receive that at all. I
Yes.
have to make a point.
Go back and watch this.
No, first of all,
Audience?
it's not my fault that y'all had a thought in mind of what question I was going to answer when I was just trying to make a point of the bringing people back from the dead card has been overplayed. Y'all kept listening for, do you think she's Abigail or not? I didn't want to. I'm not answering that. I thought we were on the same page of like, it's Abigail.
Okay, viewers, you decide. Is Araceli saying
You don't need the
on
viewers.
Tony?
You don't need to do a poll. I am not. I did not answer that in an Araceli way at all. Period. Point blank. Moving on. Will never be compared to Araceli. Knows how to answer questions. Knows how to get to the point. And let me reiterate. I'm just saying the bringing people back from the dead card is overplayed. Insert examples. Insert them leaning towards the fact that this is Abigail. Insert this better be a good storyline for me to believe and buy the reason why y'all bought Abigail back.
You do realize the longer you talked, the more you made my point for me, right?
Not at all. Not at all. Nope. Because I got John Del Rey saying he ain't lying.
In any case,
I got them saying nope. So no.
And just so you guys know, I can't see your comments today, but feel free to send them my way. In any case, to your point, Tony, I do think there is a little bit of a difference between, well, maybe not to the Salemites, to us as an audience. I do think there's a difference between being brought back from the dead in terms of we've seen the body and presumed dead, like Nick washed away in the river and somebody fell over a cliff and somebody's car exploded and blah blah blah. I feel like there is a slight difference between she was found in the bed with the stab marks in her body, blood all over Chad's clothes, kind of dead. And so for that reason, I agree with you that if they're going to go this route, well, there's dead and then there's presumed dead. Like when Susan went over the cliff, nobody ever actually found her body, kind of a thing. But this was like deader than dead. We've seen the body, we saw the body alive and then dying and then dead and then blood on the clothes and everything. So I agree. For that reason, I agree with you, Tony, that if they're going to go this route, they really need to really hit home, whatever the story is.
Right.
Because otherwise, I don't know why we're here.
Right. Because when they and the thing is when they announced that she was joining the show, this whole time I've been like, "Oh, okay, it's going to be a new character." And then
Mhm.
last week when the storyline unfolded, I was like, "How? How? 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 How?"
See, I like the way they're doing the. I think there's a storyline, and then there's what the show is putting out there about this character, and I like the social media stuff. I like the news that is surrounding this character because Days is
Mhm.
saying, "You tell us who you think she is." The show is not saying she's anybody. It's everyone else who's saying. Well, I'm talking about outside of the show. We
All of
didn't get a
us.
cast announcement. I'm saying the news, all of that is, in fact, the latest thing is her sitting in the studio saying, "You tell me who
Exactly.
you think I am. I don't know who I am. You tell me." It's not the show saying she's Abigail. It's everyone else saying, "I think she's Abigail because she's blonde and she's white." And,
Mhm.
you know, come on,
Well, see, I didn't
I'm saying
go
up until
there.
this point,
Up
though.
and yeah. Well,
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
I
that's
didn't.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
I think everyone else, as soon as she was announced, was like, "She's a new Abigail. She's a new Abigail. She's a new Abigail."
Mm.
I was like, "Oh, this is a new character," because they were like, "Oh, she read for the character of Marine," and da 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 da. And I'm like, "Okay, like, who's she gonna be?"
Mhm.
And it wasn't until last week that I was like,
Yeah, I think they've been playing the long game here. I think this is all one big trick, or yeah, I think it's a misdirect. I think
maybe.
everything they put out has been weird. I think a lot of people thought she was Abigail also too, because the character description was a little vague, and it sort
Mhm.
of led you to believe, like, is she playing this random character who you're giving us 3 lines about who she is as a person, or is she playing someone else? I don't know. I think the intention all along is to keep people guessing on who Anna Lynn is playing.
But whenever someone comes on new, all of those are a misdirect. Like they never say Sonny Kiriakis recast. Da, 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 da. It's always like Brian and that's how it always seems to be. Like you know what I mean? And it's not until you get there that they go, okay, so FYI.
But I think that's more I think that part is just exclusive to Days in terms of how far ahead they shoot. Eventually they break down and say, "Hey, this person's been playing this person for a while now."
Right. But I will say, I enjoyed the um the discovery of Clyde saying Abigail is alive,
Mhm.
to them going and finding the safe deposit box in Chicago.
Yeah,
Um, Julie being a part of this as well.
yeah, I like that.
Them opening it, seeing the hard drive, where I kind of took a step to the left was seeing the footage and just seeing her kind of roam around and not see her
Yeah.
face. And I was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, now y'all hype this woman up to that this was her first day. She's in Salem and da da da, and we still don't see her.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's
You're
I don't
disappointed.
I don't quite know how it's like I'm interested,
Yeah,
but I just hope
you need a little more.
and I just hope it's not Abigail is back, but she's being played by someone else, and now we have all of that.
Hmm.
I just don't want that.
Yeah, you say that.
But if we do get that, then please just make it some sort of like, man, I didn't see that coming. All right, I'm on it.
Yeah.
Moment. Now
We'll
again,
see.
I love Days. I still want to be on Days.
Uh,
I love all the people there, all my friends, everyone, their family, however, comma.
and we got Jack back for this, at least beginning part of the storyline. We'll see how long he sticks around, but
Yeah. And okay,
now do
Matthew
you,
Ashford
huh?
looking good.
Yeah, he did look good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, what
Do
were you
you,
going to ask?
do you guys think it was right for them to keep him in the dark there at this point, or do you think they should have kept him sort of abreast of everything?
Yeah. I think, Araceli, are you frozen?
Oh, completely.
Araceli?
Yeah, she's probably not even there.
And she probably hasn't even been there. Let me
Yeah,
just take her off for a second.
yeah, she'll pop back in, I'm sure.
Oh, there she is.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
she popped
Okay.
back. Okay, you were frozen for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was best to keep everything between them
Yeah.
until they had some sort of solid evidence as to what Clyde said, as to not give anyone hope.
Yeah.
Agree.
I think it was already a tough burden to bear
Yes.
just between them. But I think it was right once things
Am I?
were
Can you
solid.
hear me?
We can hear you now.
I'm here.
Not no more.
I think there might be a delay with you or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties, guys. Just carry on.
Oh, were you gonna say something?
Delays.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we have AI Araceli joining us, where you get movement every now and then and a few blinks.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that it's best to keep everyone sort of in the dark about this until
Yeah.
we get more information, because who knows about Clyde? Is he trying to save his own ass? Is he up to playing some games here? Is he telling the truth? Like, it's too soon to kind of go there,
yeah,
I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
What else was a part of that? That was pretty much it, right?
That was pretty much it. Oh, we did get that weird like little like plot point of like, oh, it's in Goldman's name, so we can't do anything for you. And then I feel like that, I don't know why that was to like us. I mean, they solved it in 5 minutes. So I don't know how much of a like, I don't know what use that was by putting that in there. It didn't really slow the plot down or anything.
I think maybe it was just kind of stalling for time.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like, I don't think it was anything but like, one more kind of like bump in the road of being like, okay, we got to the box. And then boom, so
yeah. No reason to lie. I think he has every reason to lie. I think he has.
So all right. Well, then let's move on to our next storyline while we still have good Wi-Fi from Araceli.
Trying.
The Prom from Hell. Sophia's origin story.
It would be. Or to paraphrase Taylor Swift, but mommy, I love him.
I think, okay. I just think I just think Tate and Holly's love story would be so much better if I almost overdosed on drugs, went into a coma, left you in jail didn't happen. Because I don't know, am I the only person that sometimes can't get past that?
I'm over it actually.
You're over it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm over it. Yeah, I'm over it. I mean, the amount of uh love stories that we've had that have had just terrible origins. I can accept. Here's why. I can accept that this love story is going forward even though she did something terrible to him, because they're kids. And kids act stupid and make terrible mistakes. And as long as they learn from them, I'm cool with it. If y'all try to pull this same storyline with adults 20, 30 years older than them, then this is where you lose me, a la Eric and Nicole.
Here's, but it even goes further when they first met, and she had a crush on Johnny,
Mhm.
and he immediately was like, "Who is this girl?" And she would not give him the time of day. So it's also even that, like, she wasn't even really interested in the beginning and kind of like played these games with him, even up until the whole overdose part. And then now it's like, oh, they're so cute. Like,
I'm fine with them. I think if Holly was like still taking drugs or like still had like maybe an apprehension towards him or something like that, I'd be worried or something. But I mean, I feel like they've like course corrected all the stuff with her. I feel like they maybe thought they were going a little too far with her, and then once they brought her back, it was like, okay, this is who she is. We haven't seen her touch a drug. She goes to therapy. The biggest strife in her life is the stuff with Nicole, I feel like. Even the stuff with Tate is really fine per se. It's the parents' objection that weighs on their relationship. Other than that, I don't know. I feel like that's the only angst for them. So I mean, I'm fine with it. you're still like, Tate, get away from her.
Did you even like Beverly Hills 90210 when it was on?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
Because I feel like this story had to have been in there somewhere.
I mean, look, I was a different person back then. I was younger. I hadn't experienced love. I didn't know what that was.
Okay, so
now
the
that
issue
I'm older,
yeah, okay.
It's and listen, here's the thing. Like, most super couples, they all start off in these very weird situations, right? I just feel like you let that man go to jail. 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 He was sitting in jail, and in the halfway house while you were in a coma, and when you woke up, you still were like, I don't want my mom to think I'm a horrible person. He is in jail.
So you're more
out of jail. It would have been one thing. It would have been one thing if this happened. So I'm Holly, right? And I'm in the coma. And she was, oh my God, what happened? And then it's like, they tell her what happened. Where's Tate? Tate's in jail. Why? Well, he provided the drugs. No, Mom, he didn't. Right away. Boom.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been easier to rectify. But the fact that, like, for a few more weeks, months, however it was, that man was still sitting in jail, using the burner phone please tell them I didn't do it. And she was still kind of like.
So you're on Team Teresa on this one. You say you align more with Teresa.
Yes. Like, I mean, did she learn from that? Yes, she did. But I just,
it's not
you're
enough.
coming at it from the perspective of a grown adult. You're not a child anymore. You wouldn't accept this the way Teresa wouldn't accept this, even though Teresa's a freaking hot mess.
Okay. Well,
But
okay.
but they're children.
Okay, Justin and Araceli, since you guys are team Holly and Tate, and don't
Mhm.
mind that the boy sat in
I
jail.
didn't say I don't mind.
Yeah, we said we were over it.
Yeah, we would.
But
Yeah,
would you,
I'm
let
just.
me pose this question.
Oh, I know where
Would
this is going.
you at any point in your life
Mhm.
still want to be with a person who did anything remotely in the realm of what Holly did to Tate?
No, but it's not me. It's we're not. Yeah, it's not me. Um, can I envision someone like Tate forgiving her? Sure, I can envision that. Would I forgive her? Probably not.
Araceli?
I don't know because I've never been in love like that. So I don't know
Well, let
what
me,
I would and wouldn't forgive when I would be in love.
it's like that.
I've witnessed great capacity for forgiveness.
It's like that viral video that is going around with a girl asking this man like something about like how long should you be in a toxic relationship, and then he said, well, how much poison would you drink?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be together. I'm just saying, like, even
You're
after he
not?
got out of jail, no, my problem is that like
You're saying it came together too quickly. It all was forgiven too quickly.
right, like he got out of the halfway house and was like, I gotta see you. I'd be like,
Yeah.
bitch, you left me in the halfway house.
Yeah.
What took you so long?
But
I would have been, if I were Tate, I would have been like, who's Holly? Who? And then have something that made him maybe get over it, get to
Yeah.
where you guys are, and then like everything's okay. But the fact that like even in the halfway house, he was forgiving her, needed to see her, throwing rocks at the window. I don't
look,
know.
I'm not
Anyway,
necessarily team Holly and Tate, but what I am is accepting that there are some things that you can fight and muscle and ground and punch your way through, and then there are some things that are really just not worth the alternative fallout. You and that unfortunately is what's going to happen when you ground a teenager and you give them forbidden fruit. It's like holding out
Mhm.
candy and saying
Yeah.
you can't have any.
but she didn't
That's
want the fruit
exactly
at
what it is.
first.
So it's
She didn't want the fruit at first. She was presented with the fruit, and she what she
and now she can't have
now she
any
can't
more
get enough.
anything
Now
else
she
but the fruit.
dipping the apple in peanut butter and being like, I want more.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um,
So you can fight it or you can get on the ride.
Oh, God, I
you
Now
know,
what now who I am team? I'm team Sophia.
can't.
why is that?
This is whose team I'm on. Because you don't do that to your best friend. Girl code trumps every time. You bring her in to the plan.
Yeah.
I guarantee you what the fallout from that to their friendship would be far less than if Holly had told her the truth from the beginning.
Yeah.
Would
This
Sophia
was.
have been upset? Yes, but she wouldn't have felt so humiliated.
Yeah.
Right. And
I'm.
used.
Yeah, I'm with her on that. It was cruel, especially when the other three were sort of in on it too. It wasn't like her and Aaron were in the dark. It
Yeah.
was no, just her. And I think you sort of, and they kept using the excuse of like, oh, she's gonna tell her mother, and I was like, really? I mean, but like you wouldn't like sit her down and say, girl, like I need you to keep this a secret, or I mean, I don't know. I feel like that was a really sort of lame excuse to it.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel yet about her telling Teresa, though. I think exacting revenge yourself, I think, is one thing. I think her sort of ratting them out to Teresa, I don't know how I feel about that yet.
That was her revenge. That was her being Petty LaBelle.
And
then
she's allowed. That's the
Mm.
right kind of petty, I think. Here's the thing. If she leaves it there, then that's the right kind of petty. Because she was humiliated by her friend. As long as
Mhm.
she leaves it there and that's the end of it, then I'm Team Sophia.
Now, mind you, she wasn't like Carrie winning prom queen and then getting drenched in blood and then using her telekinesis to burn up the gym, humiliated.
Yeah.
I'm sure she felt some kind of way because her friends,
Yeah.
devised this plan without her.
Hmm.
But is that enough to activate the petty button and go to, Teresa to say, hey, keep your eye on Tate and Holly?
See, that's what I'm.
When
I
it's
haven't
your
decided
best
yet.
friend, because you don't have to necessarily tell your best friend everything, but if you allow your best friend to be humiliated and you don't give her the heads up, hey, he and I are together on the sly, will you help me, kind of a thing, then no, I'm sorry, you don't do that. It's
I
one thing to
agree.
not
She should
tell
have
your
done
friend
that.
something. Yeah, it's another thing to willingly lie when it's going to affect her. That's
Well,
different.
if I was Sophia, I would have said, I ain't going with y'all.
See, I didn't mind when she was like keeping them apart at prom and sort of like sticking it to him. Then that I didn't mind. I just don't know about like
Telling Teresa.
getting the mother. Yeah, telling Teresa. I'm like, because now it's sort of taking it to a different level. Now you're sort of actively, in a way, ruining their relationship, which I don't know if that's called for, and versus your embarrassment of being kept out of the secret, sort of. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. But we'll
It's
see.
like
I don't know.
what would
Oh,
be the right level of angry? Because okay, for
mhm,
example, right?
mhm,
Uh, a true story. I had two best friends in high school, um, both females. Uh, will whatever. I'm old enough. Uh,
I think you may have told us this before,
Yeah, I remember
maybe.
but
this
maybe
story a
yeah.
So
little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So my best friend at the time, Candace, and my best friend still, Nicole. Um, it was one day, Nicole was just mad. And I was like, what is wrong with you? And I was driving
Mhm.
them home.
Mhm,
And once Candace got out of the car, I was like, what is wrong? And she was so upset that one, Candace had said something about me, made a remark about, me being gay or something like that or whatever. And then said like, watch, he'll still drive me home. And so me not knowing what had transpired, Nicole was pissed and told me about it. Well, to this day, I am not friends with Candace, and I remain friends with Nicole. But I sat
Mhm.
here and wondered if Nicole hadn't told me what Candace said, and I heard this information from someone else, and then found out that Nicole was there and no one told me. I think I probably would have been mad at both of them and not been friends with either one of them because I would have activated the petty button and said, I'm done with both of you.
mhm.
Mhm.
So in regards to Sophia, I think she should have acted the petty button against the friends, but not involve the parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like keeping them apart from each other, um, or even I don't know, just doing whatever you needed to do to make yourself feel better. But going to Teresa and being like, keep an eye on them, is like, girl, no,
Yeah.
that's too far.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Also,
I'm fine with it.
we got a little something again with this family. Something about this family is like making me think the Green
What?
family. We got a
Oh
little bit
my
more
god.
info.
Oh my
We
god.
know that
Okay.
he helped raise or he is helping raise the younger siblings.
Raise the
So
younger
we don't
siblings. Yeah.
know where the parents are. We don't know what's going on with that. There's something there. They're not building up this family to be this sugary sweet, you know, new family that they're introducing into town. There's something, I don't know if he's a villain. I don't know if there's weirdness in this family. We'll find out. I don't know. There's something about this family, though. They're not as, I don't want to say nice as they appear to be, but there's something here.
There's a mystery to be
Yeah.
found there. And so far, I like every member of this family.
Yeah, I like
the
them.
doctor brother. I like Aaron. He seems cool. Felicity's adorable. But I have to say, there is only one Mark Green.
Oh God, not you.
I'm
I'm taking over from Michael.
I'm sorry. There is only one Mark Green, Dr. Mark Green from ER, my favorite show of all time. I cannot listen to Somewhere Over the Rainbow from Iz without sobbing for the rest of my life because of that show, because of that character. There is only one Mark Green. Ron Carlivati, I love you to pieces, but what on earth were you thinking?
It's with 3 E's though. I also need someone. Hi, Mom. I also need someone to spell green for me, because when he said with 3 E's, I took it as GREENE, 3 E's. Someone in here put GREEEEN, and I'm like,
that makes even less sense. And Dr. Green on ER was with 3 E's, GREENE.
But I do think that you guys are onto something. I think there's something very interesting about this family, but I do think that Mark has had to work very hard, because I think something happened with the parents, and that caused him to kind of have to grow up fast, and them lean on each other, and Felicity and Aaron to lean on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm interested. I do like having a new family as opposed to just like bringing in a character. But yeah,
I do like
it's interesting. They're giving us a whole family. They usually don't do that unless there's something bubbling below the surface with this family.
But sometimes I'm also like, okay, so for the longest time, we only had Kayla as a doctor.
I know.
Then Tripp became a doctor. Then all of a sudden, we had Whitley King as a nurse. And it's like, where you came from? And now we got Dr. Mark Green. And it's like, where you come from? Like, where, like,
hospital.
Like, have you been on the other side, like dealing with other stuff? And then this is like, where have you been all my life? And when did you get hired?
Yeah.
So, like, if he was a new hire, like, you know, that would be one thing. But the fact that, like, it's like, it almost makes it seem like he's been there. It's like, where you been, though?
I say, like, lean into that. Have, like, Sarah run into him.
Oh, and Sarah.
And be like, we're old friends. Or something. Like, lean, you know what I mean? Lean into that. Like, just make it a whole thing now. Make it they've been friends, or they help each other with patients or something like that. Like, go all the way.
And me in the background. Where have you been all my life?
Oh yeah, and we got I can't with Brady and Teresa.
Okay, I like them as
this chaperone thing.
I did get a kick out of Teresa being right about everything, at least when it came to Tate and Holly.
Yeah.
Her I told you so, her looks, like her predictions of what they were gonna do, when they were gonna do it. I was like, like, why, like, Brady, why would you on this one thing? Why would you doubt her? Because she is the ultimate bad girl. So of course she can lay out step by step what they're doing.
I just kind of wish they weren't at the Salem Inn, but maybe they were like in, like, almost like Saved by the Bell when Zach couldn't go to prom, and so they had a prom outside of prom.
Aww, with the tree and the bench.
Like, I almost kind of wish that, and maybe, I mean, this could have helped, but like, instead of them being caught at the Salem Inn, but they were just caught in like this little area. And maybe from a distance, they kind of go, maybe we are being too hard.
You just want them to split up.
Who?
Tate and Holly.
No, I just need clarification as to what has made Tate so let's see, what would be the equivalent of dickmatized to catmatized?
Smitten.
Catmatized.
No.
I can't say the other one, so I got to stick with cat.
Smitten. He's been bitten by the love bug.
Smitten is very much like, you know, you have a crush on someone, you adore their personality, things like that.
Yeah.
When you are dickmatized or catmatized, you are it is completely different.
Not for Tate and Holly.
Oh, look, for all we know, he got bitten by an actual bug. Let's just go with it.
I wish I would have thought of this. Bejeweled. He's bejeweled. I don't know. But they got caught.
Yeah.
But it's also like, y'all didn't hear the door?
I know.
That door took a while.
I know, it did take a minute.
Listen, this
also, how'd they get a room?
I mean, I thought
That
that
part was
too.
what
But,
made me. I was like,
but Tate is 18. At 18, you can.
Is he?
Can you get a room at 18?
You can.
I think
but
at 18, it's you can't rent a car.
I think Tate. Wait, is he 18?
Explain that.
I don't think so. I thought they were
16.
both like 16, 17, the most.
Yeah, I didn't think that you could rent a room before you were 18. I know that you can't rent a car until you're like
25.
like
yeah.
25. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, somebody explained that logic to me. How you can rent a room but not a car. I don't know.
Oh no! Keep that car.
Keep
that car rule, please. You
know? I just know, just based on this comment, that after the show, I'm gonna be getting a phone call from my mother.
Oh, because
I just know. I just know I will.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, is there okay, nope, we can talk about that later. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to the Juneteenth celebration anniversary. And the welcoming of Eli and Lani.
And their babies
celebrate, and the babies look so cute, sorors. I was like, look at that hair. They were too cute.
Adorable. And all I could think was somebody left a mark on the floor. Some PA left a mark on the floor because they both kept looking down.
Yes. Yeah.
And they were like, there must have been some shiny tape on that floor.
They were
like, is it lunchtime? Where's my
now those aren't the same set that we saw last time, right? Or no, is that too much of a stretch?
I think no,
because they were toddlers last time we
Yeah.
saw them, which was only a few months ago. So maybe they're different actors. I couldn't tell if they were the same kids from.
Yeah. But great that, you know, they were able to celebrate Abe and Paulina, and also congratulate and wish good luck to Chanel and Johnny.
Yay.
But the real tea came when EJ crashed the party.
Father-in-law EJ.
It wasn't me. It wasn't. How did y'all feel with EJ being there? Like, as soon as he walked through the door, like, how'd you feel?
It was very out of place, I think, for two reasons. One, his reasoning for being there.
Mm-hmm.
amidst the like celebration of it all. And
Mm-hmm.
also they don't do good. They do a really great job of incorporating Johnny with Chanel's
Mm-hmm.
family in that group. They don't do such a great job of, and maybe this is because we don't see a lot of Johnny with his side of the family because they're all scattered. But seeing EJ there, it just made it look uncomfortable in a weird way, I'll say, just because
Yeah.
they don't usually have him in scenes like that, which I don't know. It would be nice if he was and they had more of a cohesive family, but yeah, there was something like really off about it of like, like it's like one of these things doesn't belong
Yeah.
here and it's not Johnny. Like Johnny is very well suited in my but yeah.
But I also just I didn't like, the whole like reinstate me, I'll take the concerned citizens of Salem out. Like that
Yeah.
whole conversation, I was like, ay ay ay, yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I do feel like we
yeah.
missed out on Melinda's end of the conversation.
Yeah. I have to
Yeah.
say, I was really shocked. I thought it was going to be a no. I thought he was going to, when he came back into the mansion with Stefan and told him yes. I was like, oh, okay, we're going. I was like, this is the writers coming back. That's what I immediately thought. I was like, they're young. Like, excuse me, let's just fix this thing right here and put things back to the way we had them. It was like,
Right.
oh, okay, he's back as a
Mm-hmm.
DA. I will say, I feel like this may be. At least it spared us another EJ versus Paulina for mayor storyline, which I wasn't that enthused about anyway. So maybe
Mhm.
who knows, but maybe this like stops that, which I'm grateful for that. I wasn't really looking forward to that.
Yeah. I mean, who's gonna vote EJ for mayor?
Nobody. But at least, but yeah, I mean, that part was awkward, but everything else was good. Eli can't go home without seeing Julie. I kind of half expected um, for Julie to let Eli in on on what was going on.
Mhm.
Oh, like to get his help, or yeah, that would have been
Yeah,
interesting.
because he's FBI. Like
Yeah,
he could get some resources. He's one of the few people who could gain access to Clyde and Supermax. I kind of expected. I don't know.
yeah,
I
that's a
thought
good
that she
point.
might clue him in, but I guess no, they're gonna
Yeah.
keep it
They was trying to keep it to
for a chat.
themselves.
But also,
Don't
like,
nobody have to know.
he's not so close to Abigail that this would have like ruined him or something. Like, I felt like Eli would have been a great choice to confide in someone.
Yeah,
Like you don't confide in
exactly.
Jack or Jennifer or like maybe some
Not yet.
other family members, but I think you could tell him. I think.
Yeah,
Mm.
I kind of thought like that was a little bit of a missed opportunity. That Eli would have been a good resource there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. He got his hands
Also,
full with the twins and Lonnie.
nobody. But you guys, I'm getting doom and gloom about this baby. Something is something.
All I
This
could.
whole we're moving to LA is too fast, and it's
Uh-huh.
too not Pollyanna, but it's too everything's going great. We're first of all, me and you totally talked about this. Why are they moving? This makes no sense to me. He's working on a movie that takes 3 to 6 months. Why is she closing a business to move for three? Like, wouldn't you go and be like, we're gonna go for a few months, work on the movie, and then if something else happens, then we'll talk about moving to LA? Like,
Right.
there's something about the storyline that's like rushing them, and it's like everything's great. They're moving to LA. They're having a baby, and I'm like, something's around the corner. I feel like,
Just around the
and something tells
riverbed.
me it's the baby. I don't think it's
That
the
was a
job.
hopeful song.
I don't think it's the LA trip. It's yeah.
It can be used for whatever.
I'm not getting good feelings about this baby now. Before I thought like, oh, they're gonna have a baby. We're gonna see them as parents. That's gonna be their new life. And now I'm thinking otherwise.
Leave that baby
Just
alone.
around the
Yeah,
riverbed.
because I think we
Leave
need.
the baby alone.
I think we need a reason for Johnny to leave, but not Chanel, and that's why I'm getting doom and gloom. I think that this is what's going to keep her in Salem.
Leave the baby alone.
Well, y'all know I've been worried about that baby since its conception.
Yeah.
I pictured your face. I pictured your
And
face,
these are
Tony.
my confessions. Just when I thought I could say my.
Yeah, I'm starting. I'm getting on board with you, Tony. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Hmm.
I mean, who knows? Maybe not. But I'm just thinking things are moving in a weird direction with them. Everything seems to be rushed. So I'm like, something must be around the corner to like smack them down a
You
bit.
mean around the river bend?
Sure.
Just
Stop ruining a
around the
perfectly good
river
song.
bend. Anything could be just around the river bend.
Mm-mm.
No, that is a hopeful song.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, hopefully when you look around the river bend, you find something glorious.
Aw, thank you, Tony.
Anywho, that's it for that storyline, right?
Yeah. Pretty. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, as we move into tidbits, just want to give you some tidbits of reminders. To one, follow us on social media. Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, X, Twitter, and Threads. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're already on there, subscribe, look around. Also, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Also, hit the bell notification. Just do that, pop, pop, so that way we can continue growing our community. And also, you won't miss out. Also, make sure you take a listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, and show some LOVE to JLJ Media on YouTube and also on your favorite podcast stations, because James Lott Jr. is the only person that I know that's old enough to remember when he was old enough. Also, tell us your thoughts, and also you want to comment below. Let us know what you thought about the storylines this week, or maybe even what we have to say. We will always be nice and kind and provide a safe space to talk about your favorite hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives, that can only be found exclusively on Peacock. Just know that the folks here at Dishin Days did not get any compensation for that announcement. All right, moving on to tidbits. We got Kayla versus Ava. I mean, I guess.
Yeah. I don't. Kayla's
Y'all
got
let
a
that
really
go.
up her ass about Ava lately, and I think it's. Here's my theory. I don't think it's jealousy, because I don't think she's worried necessarily about that. But I think she's. I think she's very uncomfortable getting the realization that Steve and Ava are more alike than maybe she thought, or that Steve has a softening towards Ava. Because what we've seen the last few months is them being on the right accord regarding Clyde, regarding protecting Trip and stuff. And Kayla has very much been on the opposite side of it, per se, in a way. Not fully, but she's been very much don't associate with Ava. Let's do this. Let's get the police involved. Let's do it the right way. And Steve has been very much like, we can do that, or I can also jump on Ava's plan and bend the rules. And who cares if Clyde gets a bullet in his head? And I feel like Kayla's starting to realize that more and more. And I think that's why she's so contentious with Ava lately. Because it really has nothing to do with Ava.
No. Ava makes her decisions the way she's always made her decisions. And for the most part, she's left Steve and Kayla alone for the last few years. And Kayla liked it that way. But the minute that Steve teamed up with Ava, or was at least aware of Ava's shenanigans and didn't immediately turn her in, it was like, oh, you're on her team, not my team.
Yeah.
Which is I think what she's thinking. You know, I can see Steve's side of it, where it's like, listen, I don't like her, but she's the mother of my son, and that's not going to change no matter how much we try to wish it away.
Yeah.
But it's also not even that. It's also, you know, of course, as parents, you know, you bond over the fact that you do have kids, but also, you know, she tried to handle this situation, because this all started when Clyde basically harmed, or trying to harm, Trip, right? By sending the patient there. Then got Trip kidnapped, you know, along with Wendy, put him in the old brewery, right? So I think what's first and foremost at the forefront is helping Ava to ensure Trip's safety. And I think with that came along a lot of other things that were not foreseen. And then it kind of involved like taking Clyde down and all of that tangle web we weave and things like that. But I don't know why Kayla has a beef with Ava, because there are no feelings there.
Yeah.
Okay, I take it back. Because of her involvement in Clyde, is now put Steve in it, which has also landed Steve in trouble with the law for breaking Clyde out and almost killed because he was shot. That's where the beef comes from. Come here, rude boy. Did you eat it up?
Yeah. I mean, I totally understand her anger. It's completely justified. It's not. It's the don't let this interfere with your marriage part that I'm having trouble with.
Yeah, I think Ava's
Ava's always going to be there. Even if she's not in Salem, she's always going to be a presence. And you can't let her interfere with your marriage, period. Steve did what he did, and he's going to make the decisions that he's going to make.
Yeah, I think it's just misguided. I mean, she's really mad at Steve. Like, Ava is not recruiting Steve for these. She's not like, I need to go mess up their marriage. I need to like recruit. In fact, she's trying to keep Steve out of it. And she's like, I'm going to do what I do. You know, if you want to offer some help and jump on, cool. Because we have a son together. You want to lend a hand to my plan, cool. But she's not recruiting Steve. She's not really like getting him in her. And it seems Kayla's anger seems very misguided, I think.
Yeah.
Now, do we think Harris is coming back at all?
He did.
He was there at the end.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I
not you not watching the episode all the way through.
Guys, it's been busy 24 hours.
And don't be trying to use that excuse like, oh my God. So tired. You didn't watch it.
Anyway, I like the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he walked through the door, and that was it.
Yeah,
but where's he been? Is the question.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we got an explanation of where he's been, but has that really where he's been, or I think he's been procrastinating coming home. He's been dragging his feet.
Yeah, this seems like a lame sort of an excuse to usher him out, I think. I mean, we know he's leaving. We know it's happening soon. This seems like a very strange way to do it. I mean, of all the things he's forgiven Ava and gotten over, the fact that, like, she just wanted to put a bullet in Clyde's head, like, I mean, with everything he's put her through the last few months, I feel like if this is the sticking point they're going with, that he's leaving her / leaving Salem over this, I don't know. Seems kind of lame, but I guess you need something.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think it's a good out. I suspect it's a bigger conversation about honesty, which she's never been good at with anyone.
Maybe with Harris. Loving you is easy cause you're ex-military. do, 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 do. Well, that's it, right? With that.
Yeah.
Okay. What you have cackled?
You knew better not to try to whistle toad. You did.
Oh, don't think I couldn't. I don't think I could get up there.
Ripperton, really? You're gonna do mini Ripperton? Okay. Oh Lord, here we go.
I couldn't. I did. If I had tea and honey,
you had to warm up.
Yeah, if I had tea and honey, I would do it. All right, let's move on to Stefan's plan.
No.
Can we talk about Jada's plan for Stefan?
I know that was sort of a.
Where'd that come
Bad.
from?
I know.
For the first time, I was kind of like,
I know.
Jada, are you a bad cop?
I know.
Oh,
I was like, are you trying to
God.
trap him or something? I'm confused what's going on here.
It was
Yeah,
like,
it was a little confusing. It wasn't clear 100%.
yeah.
Yeah, it was just bad. On the EJ and I mean on the Stefan and EJ side of it, this is exactly what I expected. What I didn't expect is what I'm not seeing, which is Melinda's side of it, because I think this is where we begin to see the walls really close in on EJ, because this week was all about him keeping Stefan silent, not necessarily taking into account that Melinda has the exact same information that Stefan has. That's what she used to get his to get him to stay quiet about her involvement. Now that she doesn't have the DA job, I don't know. I just don't think that he considered Melinda as the wild card in this situation, and I think that she would be. She's going to want something for him taking back the DA job. I know that much. More than his silence. She's going to demand more. And Stefan is demanding the moon, aka Gabby, fully out of prison, innocent of all charges.
Yeah.
Her sentence completely commuted. So, and I don't know what rabbit he's going to have to pull out of his hat to make that happen. So it's all just, I think it's a similar situation that he found himself in a couple weeks ago, where he was trying to juggle being DA, trying to juggle being interim CEO, trying to juggle getting Jude back. It's too many balls in the air. Something's gonna drop.
That's where I
You
thought
never
this
have
was.
too many balls in the air.
That's where I thought this was going.
I realized it as soon as I said it.
Yeah, I thought they were going with a Melinda factor.
Keep it clean, Tony Moore.
I thought Stefan was going to go to Melinda, or that EJ would, like before the EJ DA stuff came about. I was like, oh, are they going to rope her in? As in, EJ will say, I'll give you the info on Melinda. You go to her and do a, one for one kind of thing. I know you were involved in the baby switch. I'll keep my mouth shut. EJ will keep his mouth shut, but I need you to help Gabby, kind of a thing. That's where I thought this was going, but yeah.
Well, as long as him busting Gabby out of jail is not a thing, then great. But when I tell you he is going to hold over, their head, that EJ's head that he knows.
I like seeing EJ squirm a little too. He's had a little bit of a comeuppance, or needs a comeuppance these last few months. So I enjoy sort of Stefan ribbing him, and
yeah, and it's not for anything necessarily. I mean, it's selfish because he wants his wife out of prison, but it's not for something petty. Like, I got really tired of the CEO back and forth, because that was all petty and ridiculous. This is very serious. This is about getting Gabby out of prison. This is him doing whatever it takes, to the point that Rafe is even like, nothing to see here. I see nothing.
Yeah. See, that's what I thought the Jada thing was. Yeah.
What'd you say?
I was gonna say that's what I thought they were going, or they were trying to do with the Jada thing. I didn't know. I wasn't sure if she was like trying to speak on Rafe's behalf, but then they didn't like go through with it fully, or like he said something about Rafe and she kind of brushed it off or something. I was like, oh, okay. I thought they were going to continue with this. Like Rafe is going to look the other way if Stefan does something bad. I thought that's what Jada was sort of implying, but it didn't like connect fully. Yeah.
Hmm. All right.
But yeah.
Well, that was Stefan's plan. Now, is there a doctor in the house? A love doctor.
Okay. Am I the only one that for the first time this week thought Marlena stay out of it?
With who? Which one of the people the three people she was treating this week?
Particularly with Alex and with Eric. Because when Eric had to reach a point in the conversation when he was like, "Mom, stop talking about this respectfully. I don't want to talk about this anymore."
Uh-huh.
And I feel like if you reach that point with your child, it's like you know what he's thinking. He knows what he's thinking, but we don't need to talk about it anymore. Kind of a thing. You can I get that in her experience. I think this is the point where she crossed over beyond like therapist Marlena and was just pure mom Marlena. Like she did everything but throw up her hands and say you and Nicole should be together. She did everything but say the words.
Usually I don't
around it and
usually I don't like not that I don't like them, I just think they're a bit weird, the Marlena and Eric scenes where he's just like always confiding in her and he doesn't seem to have friends to talk to. He just talks to his mother, which whatever. I usually don't care for them, but I actually liked this one just because I felt like Marlena was giving him sound advice about the working together with Nicole. And then she started to bring up all the times in the past that they've worked together and it's blown up in their face, which I was like, okay, come with the facts and the history of like, yeah, like this whole relationship started because you were working together. Look how that ended. You left town because of it for almost 20 years. Then you came back and you thought you'd work together at the church. That imploded. And yeah. And now here we are.
Marlena was just talking history.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it just like there does reach a point where it's kind of like you've talked it to death at this point. You need to leave him alone. The man is over 40 years old. I know that you want to counsel him, and he probably needs to be counseled, but
so he doesn't make the same mistake again.
Well, and this is where I say,
but he's going to
let him make the mistake.
He's going to,
because he's a grown man.
No, because y'all want him to.
Oh, I don't want him to. I definitely don't.
You know what? Side note, I have to say this. So you know, as we all know that EJ and Nicole won Best Couple for the Dishin Days Awards. Somebody on our Facebook page tried to accuse us of being biased towards this coupling, and I had to explain to him.
Oh, like we fixed the award, you mean? Like that?
Based on the fact that they want to see Eric and Nicole together. And because we have vocally said we prefer EJ and Nicole together, I think that there was some rigor mortis. I said, well, Eric and Nicole were not a couple in 2023. Now, granted, they might be a couple this year.
2024.
And if that... I had it right. They were not a couple.
Sorry. I thought you EJ. Yeah.
See, if you just let me talk.
Sorry. I heard it differently in my head.
I know my dates. See, listen, my good friend Beyonce told us to. But they were not a couple in 2023, Eric and Nicole. Now in 2024, that could be different, and maybe in 2025, they will win Best Couple. However, we did not tell anybody to vote for them. Everybody else did. And we're just stating opinions. That's all. We know the end game. And at one point in time, we was rooting for Eric and Nicole. I'm just saying.
At one point.
I'm just saying. Anywho, that's just what we have to deal with online. But that's life.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you're doing these polls to see where people are. I'm like, yeah, because I want to see what everyone else thinks.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks that Eric and Nicole should be together, and that's fine. That's okay. I don't dislike anybody that wants to see them together. As for me, I'm good with Nicole and EJ.
Yeah. I think it also says something that, I mean, Eric and Nicole weren't part of the poll, but people still voted for Nicole and EJ, so they must have a fan base. Otherwise, they would have just voted for the other four options. So there's still a decent enough fan base to win an award of it. So yeah, I mean,
That's voted on by fans.
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate.
Not rigged by us. Trust me, we have enough to worry about with the Dishin Days Awards than to be rigging.
Rigor mortis.
And my good friend Taylor Swift said, "I'm just gonna shake it off."
What did you say, Araceli?
And my good friend Taylor Swift said, "I'm just gonna shake it off." All that hate.
Anywho, all right. So before we go out of the Marlena, the Love Doctor, we got to talk about Teresa and Brady. Teresa, just go with your heart. If your heart says Brady, go with that. If it says Alex because of the money.
I think it says Alex because she's too far down the rabbit hole.
No. She wasn't too far when she went and did what she did with Brady.
Do we like her with Brady though? Just because they have feelings? Do we think
I always have.
I still think she's actually more. If I look at Teresa and I say who should she be with, I actually still go with Alex, even without the deceit and stuff. I definitely don't think her and Brady should be together. I mean, if anyone's toxic, it's those two. And I don't think we've got enough. We got them bonding, and we know, they're older, they're different people now. We got them bonding a bit with the Tate stuff, but nothing since she's come back, I think, has told us that these two people sort of should be together. I don't know. I need more than just like she shouldn't be with Alex, so she should go with him. Like they're way 10 times more toxic than her and Alex, besides.
But I'm also glad that they realize that, they realize that they are toxic together. But I feel like you can't deny that there are feelings. And I think that if you grow as a person and become better, then maybe that toxicity won't be there.
Yes.
And someone
Teresa's
is right.
just not there yet.
Teresa's first love is money.
Yes, that's true. But I feel like she's also just so far down the rabbit hole with Alex that she feels like she can't turn back.
Because of that, for the love of money.
Yeah.
All right.
Then we had Marlena and Leo.
Oh, Marlena and Leo.
Yeah.
I was about to take us out.
I know.
I like that Leo had
fair.
like epiphany about himself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't remember how he put it.
I'm lonely about 75% of the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right. He the only person that there was Gwen and there was Dimitri, but I think other than that, he hasn't really had like close people.
Yeah.
While in Salem. And so I think he is a bit lonely.
Yeah. I think over the past few months they've made an effort to like diversify his character. We see him at the paper now. He's friendly with Chad. He's friendly with Barbarette. He's kind of friendly with Abigail. I think this is all to just make him more
Stephanie. Abigail Klein. He means Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we need to diversify his character a bit. He can't just walk around giving quips and I'm sure Michael Mattis was home this week pulling out his hair over the Leo Teresa.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. The second that happened, I thought of Michael Mattis and I'm like, thank God he was not here this week because he would have been
Yes.
Gosh.
Now, granted,
Totally
I wouldn't mind them as friends.
Who?
Teresa
and
and
Leo?
Leo. Yeah.
Sure. But you know the problem with that is that like
It's too much of the same, yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, it's
You
too
know,
much the same.
if Leo needed a friend,
Yeah.
I know a great DJ in San Francisco that has ties to people in Salem. Well, one person in Salem, and could just so happen to be in Salem doing a DJ gig, and Leo is there like cutting a rug and goes, "Hey," and I'm like, "Girl, hey."
Oh, you're gonna replace the DJ at the prom? That terrible DJ?
I could
Right.
have. I could have. That could have been my intro.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yep.
And I did like that Leo brought up the loneliness aspect and how it's a fact that there are many comedians that deal with depression, and that comedy is how they overcompensate for low grade depression that they deal with their whole
Mhm.
lives. And so I could totally see that with Leo. However, I question the I question the plan to confront his mother, not because I don't think it's a good idea, but because I think that he needed more time in therapy before jumping headfirst into that plan. Great plan
Mhm.
if you are prepared to accept the fact that the other person is probably not going to respond the way you want them to.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
has to be prepared for that.
Yes.
It's giving very mommy dearest. Why did you
Yeah.
adopt me?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm like,
I
you're
am not one of your fans.
yeah, he's no match for Diana at this point. Like, get simmer down a bit, go to a few more sessions, get
Yeah.
your thoughts and your argument in order. Otherwise, she will
I mean,
not be
yeah,
good
no,
to do.
great idea, but he doesn't have the self-esteem for it right now. It's
Yeah,
just
no,
he's setting himself up for even more disappointment,
He been
which
to one session.
I know, right? I know.
exactly, yeah, you're not
And
gonna
even that he walked in like, well, I made the appointment.
But we
Fix
all
me.
know those people who like finally discover therapy when you're like, oh, bitch, you should have been going for years ago.
Yeah.
And then they go to one session and they're like, not that they're cured, but they come back like, oh, therapy. I got a handle on everything, and you're like, no, keep going.
I will say what else I appreciate about Leo saying that is that I do feel like a lot of gay men are lonely. I think that's something very real and very
Mm,
relatable as
yeah,
well.
hmm.
So not just the fact that Leo like doesn't really have friends in Salem and all that kind. I think that's a very relatable
yeah,
thing when it comes
Hmm.
to people within our community. So I
yeah.
appreciate
And a
that.
Yeah,
little commentary
it's
on the show that if if Will and Sonny are gone and Paul's gone, then they're no one left to match up with. Yeah, when you get rid of all the
yeah.
Unless
gay characters, you don't have.
unless there's some random gay that's been like whizzing around Salem that we
Yes.
don't know about, but we'll be introduced to in a few weeks.
No, they should bring back. Remember the guy who Will made out with underneath the bridge. That remember when Salem
Oh,
the square used to be different and it was like off of the square. It was the guy before
yeah,
Sunny.
when
Yeah,
he
when he
first
first
came
sort of
out,
came
yeah.
out. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
The guy that worked
Well,
at the Salem Inn,
no, not the
Derek.
bun guy.
No,
No, this guy
No,
was like early
Will's
on, really early
first
on.
kiss.
Yeah,
It was
his
when he
first
was
kiss with the
first
guy.
discovering his sexuality. Sonny
Yeah,
was around, but they were just friends.
yeah.
I think he was even still with Gabby, or he had just broken up with Gabby at the
I
time.
forget
Yeah.
that character's name, Shavroom, if you remember. And then there was the bun guy. Remember? Is that the
oh,
guy?
Man Bun.
Yeah,
I
man
remember
bun.
Man
Yeah,
Bun. I
yeah,
like Man
yeah.
Bun. Bring Man Bun
Like,
back.
bring those two back. Or
Yeah, along with DJ Terrence. All right. So, if
Yeah.
someone can remember Will's first kiss and saw and have that scene, tweet it to us so that we can be reminded of
It's
that as well.
yeah,
around. I know
some
it's
alleyway or
around. Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Last but not least, we've got Mother Maggie.
Hmm.
Um, Poor Maggie. She feels like she was taken on a ride.
I like the reveal that she was happy / okay with Xander killing him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
A little un-Maggie-like, but
then she felt bad for feeling that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You can only be honest.
I love that bond that Xander and Maggie have, and it's almost like, you know, I think Xander was a little torn about what he did because he was like, I didn't have to shoot him.
Yeah.
But when Maggie was kind of like, good for you.
Yeah.
Glad he's rotten in hell.
Yeah.
I feel like Xander was like,
yes, yep, I did the right thing. I got her approval. Yeah.
And poor Sarah don't know where the mama at.
So I'm assuming that was the mother and she was trying to get rid of her. Did you guys think it was the wrong number? I think it was the mom.
No, I don't know. I mean, we're pretty sure that all this is leading up to her making her grand entrance in Salem. So
I think we had a little bit more backstory about Xander and his mom. I think that theory could make more sense, but I just still feel like there's not. All we know is that they didn't have a great relationship.
Yeah. I just thought it was the mom like feeling things out per se, and sort of I don't know. I just got that feeling, but maybe it was a wrong number.
Feeling.
Yeah.
Well, because also I don't think it would. My thought was, of course, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, you just have the phone number. It's like, hey, come to. It's like, wrong number, bitch. So, and it's good that that Bonnie's kind of there to support.
Yeah.
Like that. Thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, that has been your week of days, and now we're going into our segments, and we're going to start with. Oh my goodness. I used to be able to go into this so smoothly, and then I realized I have to press all the buttons. Once again, everyone, that has been your week of days, and now we're going into our segments, and we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award.
Oh, snap! Oh, snap!
Here we go. All right. You know, there are times where we have to remind people that we got you. And even when you have to dupe them into thinking that you're sending them prom pictures, but you're really reminding them, you clear Gabby. Or else. So for his slick way of reminding EJ that he's got him, Brandon Barash, Stefan Demira, you get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap. Because the button was over here. Oh
snap!
There we go. I had got a kiki out of that because he was like, "Oh yeah, DJ, I sent it to you too." Do
right.
Clear Gabby tomorrow or else, and then Nicole's just and he just. I love it. All right. Well, we don't have a caption that because Michael Madison is still on hiatus, but what we do have is
those were the days.
All right, everyone, taking you back to June 18th, 1998, where we had the debut of Patricia Darbo as Nancy Wesley. If you recall, when they brought Craig and Nancy on, they brought Craig on first for a little while, and he was sort of the rival to Mike Horton. He was this new hotshot. And when they introduced him to sort of play this up as a bit of a womanizer and kind of gross and not disgusting, but a sort of out there frat boyish. And then when they sort of revealed that he has this wife, and then it was Patricia Darbo, I think they sort of crafted that whole thing just, I think, beautifully. And then we find out Nancy is sort of like his right-hand man and his accomplice in stirring up trouble. And for the first, I want to say it was about 2 years of them sort of being these morally gray characters. And they didn't actually soften them until they decided to bring Chloe on, and that's when we decide to expand them being something more than just sort of Salem troublemakers and sort of thorns in the side of both Carrie and Mike back in the day. So yeah, June 18th, 1998, when we got Patricia Darbo as Nancy Wesley.
And I still, to this day, just love that they were not the stereotypical soap couple.
Yeah.
But still beautiful and handsome either way, but not like these like you know, people.
Yeah.
And
Those were the days.
and now we have
It's a gift.
And this week's It's a Gift goes to Miss Teresa Donovan, who was giving all the looks, but is about as over these teenagers talking in letters as I am. Please
Oh, is that
get
it?
over it, the letters. Use full sentences.
Well, I can't say anything because sometimes I say BRB.
Yeah.
Either way, that was.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
And now it is time for news and gossip.
Yes, we are starting off first with some casting notices and a big anniversary. We are starting with the debut. It is finally happening. We are finally getting Shuri Jimenez Faris as Gabby Demira. She's appearing this week on, make sure I get it right. She is appearing on Thursday, the 27th. Also, today is her birthday, so big happy birthday to Shuri.
Yay.
Also, little known fact, she actually auditioned to play original Gabby back 16 years ago with Marty, and for some reason that didn't work out, and it sort of circled back 16 years later, where she is now our new Gabby, who we will see this week. So yeah, we're
That
sort of getting
is
that's
crazy.
yeah, and funny that we did Anna Lynn McCord last week, where the same thing. She auditioned for Marnie like 20 years ago, and then this role sort of came back around. So
Well, also,
definitely Marnie keeps you in
in
mind
mind.
for things.
Raven too. Raven
Yeah, Raven
Bowens, who now
originally,
plays
yeah.
Chanel.
Yep.
She originally auditioned for Chanel
Yep.
too, and then they once Precious left,
Yeah,
they brought her back in. But
yeah.
this story, I would love to talk to her about this. Can you imagine auditioning for something 15 years ago?
Yeah.
And then getting a notice to audition for that same role again,
I know, right?
and then getting it 15 years later.
Yeah,
That's
That's so
crazy.
interesting. Yeah, to be like, okay, it wasn't right for me then, but now I'm in a place where I can play this character at this age. And yeah, interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Right.
so we will see her this coming week. Who we also will see this week is Judith Chapman's. We were just speaking of her, is back as Diana Colville. I'm guessing we will see her with Leo. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we will see her with some other people who she used to sort of tangle with. I really want to see a Diana versus Jack. That sort of rivalry was always nice back in the day, and we know that, remember, Jack actually stole the Spectator from Diana, and that back in the day. So I think that would be it would be nice to sort of see them go head to head like they used to back in the day. But yeah, we get Judith Chapman back. We're guessing her scenes are going to be with Leo. Not sure how long she'll be back, if it's just a pop in, but yeah, always nice to see her on the show. She has a rich history, whether playing Diana or playing Angelica or playing God, did she play someone else? I want to say. Anyway, yeah, always good to see her back, and yeah, we'll see her this week. And last but not least, we want to give a big happy anniversary to Deidre Hall. She is celebrating 48 years this week on the show. Just, yeah, she's been very consistent. I know she took approximately 7 or 8 years off over those 48 years. Remember, she did Our House back in the day, if you watch that. But yeah, she's been pretty consistent with days, and the journey she's been on the past 48 years has been, yeah, just sort of remarkable. And she is still giving front burner storyline and still there as Dr. Marlena Evans. So big happy anniversary to Deidre.
All right, next up, we have a new interview from our beloved Susan Seaforth Hayes. She did an exclusive interview with a Canadian journalist named Harvey Brownstone. So her interview is now up on his YouTube page, and she talked about how special Days is to her now. I think especially since Bill's passing, the whole cast and crew there have just kind of surrounded her in love. And she said that she's been treated so beautifully by her co-workers, and she wants to do them proud in the upcoming storylines. So we'll see, obviously, what the next latter half of the year has treated Julie, and how Susan was able to. I can only imagine that she was able to do that because so many people there at Days were just lifting her up as best they could. Yeah, so that interview is up right now on YouTube. Check it out. Harvey Brownstone is the name.
Yeah, and next up we have a little correspondence, we'll say, with Peter Reckel. Us here at Dishin Days tweeted out at Peter Reckel. We have a few of these for you, specifically Dishin Days awards that he won this year, but we don't know how to get them to you. Let us know. And Peter, in his fashion, responded with any luck, I will be at the studio soon, and I can get them from you there. Thanks. So again, take it for what it's worth. We don't know if this is something behind the scenes that is being worked on. We don't know if this is Peter being a little cheeky, as he can be sometimes on the interwebs, but we will see. So fingers crossed that Peter can get his Dishin Days awards and that he will get them in person from the studio. So we will see and keep you updated on that.
Well, he also did, because I think a lot of people started speculating and started saying stuff about it. And so he did do a reply.
Oh, another reply?
He said, to be clear, I am not teasing. I am hoping that they find a way to wake Bo up soon so he can be with his family.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's just hoping to continue on with the storyline, but it doesn't mean that he's coming back. But what it does mean is that he'll be getting his 3 Dishin Days awards at some point.
At some point. We got him.
Now we can only reach out to Terrell Ransom Jr. so that he can get his. And if I don't hear from him soon, we might just give it away. Next.
Anyways, so Ari Zucker went on the Misunderstood podcast this past week. If you were living under a rock, that's what she did this week. And she made some comments that sent Twitter kind of into a flurry. Now, this is our response. We all have varying opinions on this issue. I know some are vocal, some are not. You can check out the interview for yourself on the Misunderstood podcast and form your own opinion. And that is what we here at Dishin Days have to say about that.
Exactly. Regardless of opinions, we love Ari. And she is a very talented, beautiful woman who has graced our screens for many years. And in life, everyone has opinions. And they may be different from yours. But it doesn't take away from the fact that she's always been good to us and always been kind to us. So go check it out for yourself and see what everyone's buzzing about. Buzz.
All right, next up we have some reminders. We are starting with Image Entertainments. We have our Hot Men of Days Nashville, which we've been telling you about, of course, happening the weekend of September 28th to 29th. We have a new development that they've added a new acoustic concert Sunday morning. This one headlined by Carson Boatman and Scott Reeves. So both incredibly talented musicians. Of course, Carson is with the Day Players, and Scott has been with the JH band that they work on. I'm forgetting the name; it's escaping me right now. But it's been
froze.
Very popular.
Okay.
Very
talking.
popular.
Got it.
Very popular. So go check that out. Next up, we have Image Entertainment has a few new cocktails. Zooms that they are debuting this next coming weeks. First one is the Girls Just Want to Have Fun one. That one is with our friends Eli Cantu and Abigail Klein. That is happening on Sunday, June 30th. And then we also have one with Eric Martzoff and Ashley Puzimis. That one is happening on actually this Tuesday, June 25th. All tickets and information for all three events, you can go to eventbrite.ca/Star Image Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then we have a Day Players Band. They are continuing on with their concert series. They have some new dates I want to shout out in North Carolina, in Virginia Beach, that they've added over the last couple of weeks. And they also, as we've been telling you, have added these private dinners to go on with the dates. In both, they've added two in New York and New Jersey. Also, keep track. It's a good thing to follow the guys on their socials, just because when they do add these private dinners, they'll usually make a post about it or make noise about it. And also when they add new dates. So in addition to going to thedayplayersband.com for tickets and info, also follow the guys on their socials so you will be the first to know when they add these new dates or these private dinners. So yeah. And again, if you haven't seen them, we've seen them a bunch of times now between various venues across LA. We've seen them at Day of Days twice. They put on a really great show, and if you have the opportunity to go for the show and or the private dinners, go. It's worth it. These guys are so much fun, especially the private dinners. Getting some one-on-one time with these guys, they will have you laughing out of your chair. They're just really sweet-natured, talented guys who really do enjoy sitting down and sort of breaking bread and spending time with fans. So go check it out again. Sweet. Yeah, thedayplayersband.com. And last but not least, we have Samantha and Friends. We have the Golden Age of Hollywood event, again, happening this year, September 14th through the 15th. All tickets and information, you can go to samanthafriends.org.
Oh, yay, I made it back in time. Yeah. Did y'all talk about everything else?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Yep.
So, oh gosh, did I freeze again?
Oh.
Nope, I'm still
here.
You're
good, yeah. Yep, so that's the flyer for the cocktails. I'm the Girls Just Want to Have Fun one we talked about. And of course, again, Ashley and Eric are doing one this Tuesday on the 25th.
Sure. All right. So that we can, because I don't know what's happening now. Let's show you what's happening this week on Peacock's Days of Our Lives.
Aha! I just caught Tate and Holly hooking up in a hotel room.
They're pointing fingers.
This is all your fault.
Get out of my house before I have you thrown out!
Facing demons.
It is not my fault. You are the way you are.
What do you mean by that, Mother?
Demanding justice.
Get the evidence and get Gabby out of prison.
And braving the worst fear of their lives.
I'm really, really scared.
Is the baby okay?
Oh, Lord.
Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. You guys can still hear me, right?
Yeah, we hear you. Yeah.
Perfect, because I think my camera is... Wait, is it? Yep. It's frozen.
Yeah. It's okay.
Or it's gone for some reason. All right. Well, that has been your week of days. Before we head out, Justin Lee Hareld, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Justin Lee Hareld.
Araceli, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at TA323Araceli.
And you can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony. And go bother Michael Mattis because he just covered an event for Project Angel Food. And check out his photos on Instagram and Twitter at ML Mattis and tell him hello from us. Also, if you want to find all of us, go on head over to Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, X, and Threads. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's episodes. We wish you a wonderful, safe, and healthy week. And we'll see you back here next Sunday for a full dish of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Have fun, everybody. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.